Shalom, Akayim. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well. Peace and blessings to the hopeful elect of Israel. This lesson is going to be on, I'm going to read an article by theorganicprepper.com called Three Recent Events That Could Send the U.S. Hurtling Toward World War III. I saw a video by GMS Dallas in class, I think is the name, and he went through this article, so I'm gonna go through it as well. It's a Yappa article, a very very good article. I've also been seeing some brothers go through this other article that I'm also gonna read in another video. Absolute blasphemous, terrible, wicked shit, man. All right, and I also saw an article saying that a world war, a world war or a war could be the United States' last act of desperation to revive them. But what those fools don't realize is that may seem like a case, for them, because in the past it may has benefited them, but this next world war, no matter how we enter it or no matter how it appears or what they say, it's going to end in America being destroyed by nuclear missiles. Thus saith the Lord Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, right? And I can actually get that before I get this. I think it's in 2 Peter chapter 3. 2 Peter chapter 3 verse 10. But the day of the Lord will come as a thief in the night, in the which the heavens shall pass away with a great noise, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat. The earth also and the works that are therein shall be burned up. Alright. I think this one's in Zechariah. Zechariah chapter 14 verse 12. And this shall be the plague wherewith Yahweh will smite all the people that have fought against Jerusalem. Their flesh shall consume away while they stand upon their feet, and their eyes shall consume away in their holes, and their tongue shall consume away in their mouth. Now, as a matter of fact, I'm going to get a video on this. Alright, I'm going to play this for you. So that's about it on that. That was basically a like a prophetic dream. A vision. There's also another one from a different Terminator movie. I think it's this one.
The next movie trailer could cost you up to 14 cents in data.
That's expensive.
Switch to Xfinity Mobile and save.
Before they died, my parents told me stories of how the world once was. What it was like long before I was born. Before the war with the machines. They remembered a green world. Vast and beautiful. Filled with laughter and hope for the future. But it's a world I never knew. By the time I was born, all this was gone.
So I just want to say this: there is no future for this place, man. All right, it's the beginning of Jacob. That's what we're coming into now. The end of Esau and the beginning of Jacob. There is no future, man. What the end isn't near. The end is literally here right now, man. We're in the last days, the latter days, and it's a slippery slope. Its downfall is inevitable. It's crashing, like it's plummeting, man. And if you can't see that, you're blinded. All right, which is why the day of the Lord's going to come as a thief in the night for you, because you're not being watchful and paying attention, man.
Skynet. A computer program designed to automate missile defense. It was supposed to protect us, but that's not what happened. On August 29th, 1997, Skynet woke up and decided all humanity was a threat to its existence.
All right, so that's gonna happen, man. This place is finished. This place is done, man. Okay, there's no question about that. So now I'm gonna get into this article. The three events that will, I'm gonna change it to will lead to World War III. Recently, the news has been all abuzz with teen activists who want to take away our guns but refuse to use clear backpacks, the Facebook privacy scandal, and how someone bit Beyonce in the face. I've never heard of. The only thing I've heard of these out of that is the gun control, and that's all planned out, man. Because I also noticed that a bunch of Jakes, they're starting to wake up, not to the fact that they're Israelites, because only the elect are gonna ultimately wake up to that, but like the real truth, I should say. Because a lot of people realize they're Israelites, but most of Jake will just remain asleep. But a good amount will wake up to that they're Israelites, but even fewer amount of them that woke up to Israelites are actually, in the real truth and gonna get delivered. I'm gonna get that. It's in Matthew 22 and 14. For many are called, but few are chosen. All right. So called meaning, you're brought to the truth, but only few are actually in the real truth and going to get delivered. Part of the elect. All right, Lord willing, we are those men, but we can't be too sure, so we're just going to push in the truth regardless, man. Okay, but I'm realizing that the Jakes that are asleep are realizing that, they're finally realizing that these devils are against us, and they're starting to talk about getting together and retaliating and getting and having guns. But you pay attention to the news, they're taking those away. So what are you gonna do, man? You can't revolt. But it's gonna spew up race wars. which is prophecy. I made a video on that, and I'm pretty sure other brothers have too. You know, those are coming, man. But there are three recent events that aren't getting much press. Yeah, exactly. Because mainstream media just talks about bullshit all day long. When the reality is, we're already in World War III, man. It's already been happening for a while, which tell us it is entirely possible that we could be headed toward World War III at worst and toward an economic collapse at best. And both of these are coming. The economic collapse and then later on the nuclear missiles destroying America, man. America isn't coming out of this alive. You're not going to see pillars of smoke and America, walking out of it, man. All right? America's going to get destroyed. During the election, it really seemed as though Hillary Clinton as president would be a much more likely path to World War III. See, now that doesn't even matter. The president does not matter, man. The president is just a puppet being used to bring out stuff, man. That's all it is. It doesn't matter who you have in office. All right, it doesn't matter who you have in office. The same things would happen. All right. She even gloated of the actions she planned to take that would have led directly and immediately to war. Donald Trump as president seemed less likely to get us into a war with Russia, but it appears the tides may have turned back in that direction. Like I said, it doesn't fucking matter who's president. The elites are the people who run the world, and they're the ones that make things happen. The president doesn't do shit. He's just a puppet, so people believe that this system's actually working on justice and democracy when it's really just a dictatorship with groups of extremely rich so-called Jew families, man. The elite bankers who are fake Jews. They're the head tribe of Esau, Amalek. They run the world. They run America. America's a corporation. And if you're not in this truth pushing this word, then you have no purpose right now, man. All right. The trade tariffs. We're already at financial war with China due to punitive trade tariffs that our governments are instituting on one another. President Trump wants to rebalance global trade in America's favor. Well, America's done. It's collapsing, so that doesn't matter what anybody wants to do, man. They tell you that they want to make this country better, but what they really want is the New World Order. And the only way that they're going to get that is by collapsing the economy, especially the petrodollar, pushing that out, getting a virtual currency like crypto, and then implementing the chip, which is the mark of the beast, man. That's their ultimate goal. And China isn't going to go down without a fight. See, but ultimately, the elites, because I'm going to get that. This is Job chapter 9, verse 24. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covereth the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he? So the Edomites are in rulership. They're the wicked, man, according to Malachi chapter 1, verse 4. I can get that as well. But ultimately, who's running this show is Yahweh Shemal Shai, man. This is Malachi chapter 1, verse 4. Whereas Edom saith, we are impoverished, but we will return and build the desolate places. Thus saith Yahweh of hosts, they shall build, but I will throw down, and they shall call them the border of wickedness, and the people against whom Yahweh hath indignation forever, which is righteous anger. So he's always going to be mad at them, he's always going to hate them, and he's always going to not give a shit about other nations, man. He only loves Israel. Alright? So they're the border of wickedness, and they're ruling. The last time we were involved in a major trade war, the Great Depression happened, according to an economics expert for CNN. America's last trade war exacerbated the Great Depression in the 1930s, when unemployment rose to 25%. Claiming it was protecting American jobs, Congress passed the Smoot-Hawley Act in 1930. The original bill was meant to protect farmers, But to build political support, many lawmakers asked for tariffs or taxes on all sorts of goods in exchange for their vote. Several nations, such as Canada, slapped steep tariffs or taxes on U.S. goods shipped and sold abroad. For example, United States exports of eggs to Canada fell to 7,900 in 1932 from 9,019 or Slovakia 919,000 in 1929, according to Doug Irwin, a Dartmouth professor and former trade advisor to President Reagan. The result, U.S. imports fell 40% in the 2 years after Smoot-Hawley. Banks shuttered, unemployment shot up. Surely there were a litany of factors at play, but economists widely agree Smoot-Hawley made the Great Depression much worse than otherwise. And what happened at the end of the Great Depression? World War II happened. And this ended the unemployment and resulted in a spending frenzy that pumped up the economy. There's always an increase in GDP during wartime due to defense spending, but that is one hell of a bad way to fix the economy, don't you think? Yeah, see, so they're going to go into economic collapse, and people are going to see, well, World War III, we can repeat it, and World War III can revive this place, when the scriptures say otherwise, man. The scriptures say World War III is going to end America completely. It's going to put the nail in the coffin, man. Because right now we're burying America. America's getting buried. And then those nuclear missiles are going to throw that dirt on top of it, man. They're going to be, the America's going to become wasteland, a body, a body rotting under the soil. It's finished, man. It's collapsing to the ground. Now, this is a huge one that I've been seeing a lot about. Number 2, the T.R.O.Y. It's lucky, I don't know if I pronounced that right, but it's an important part of this economic collapse, or especially flushing out the U.S. dollar. As of Monday, March 26th, which was about 3 days ago, the United States has lost petrodollar status. The petrodollar now has competition in the form of T.R.O.Y. What this means is that previously the only way anyone in the world could buy oil was to use United States dollars to do so. This kept the value of our currency high, but now Russia and China are buying oil using the yuan. Others may soon follow because the United States has ticked off a majority of the planet in the past century. What does this mean for Americans? Inflation, major inflation. If our dollar is worth less on the global issue, it means that anything we import is going to cost more. If you want the super detailed economic explanation, this article and video will provide the in-depth info you want on the history and potential collapse of the petrodollar. It's not potential, man. It's not an if or possibly. It will happen. It's inevitable that this dollar is going to collapse and the economy will. And World War III, America is going to get nuked to death, man. There is no if. There is no potential. There is no possibly. It will happen. It's a prophecy, and all prophecy will come to pass. Many articles have been written about the possibility that the United States will go to war to protect the petrodollar status. This one is a good read. For a quick example, watch this video. Which, you brothers can watch that video. Kicking out the Russian diplomats. We also kicked out 60 Russian diplomats out of the United States because Russia was accused of poisoning their own spy on British soil. So basically, you can read the rest of this article. It's a great article, but them kicking it out, that's just sort of a disrespect thing, and I highly suggest you start to check this article out. All right, but I'm gonna get some scriptures here, a couple that we've already known, but I'm just gonna keep bringing them out. Matthew chapter 24, verse 7. For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilences and earthquakes in diverse places. All these are the beginning of sorrows. And because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold, but he that shall endure unto the end, the same shall be saved. So the love of many is going to wax cold, man. A lot of people aren't going to care about each other's feelings. They're going to be killing each other, stealing each other's shit. You know, once this economic collapse happens, there's going to be cannibalism, a bunch of thieves, looters, murder, genocide, all sorts of things, man. Race wars. It's going to be crazy. All right. So, well, actually, here, Matthew chapter 24 verse 21. For then shall be great tribulation, such as was not since the beginning of the world to this time, no, nor ever shall be. And except those days should be shortened, there should no flesh be saved, but for the elect's sake those days shall be shortened. So it's going to be the worst time of all times, man. There's never going to be a time ever that will be as bad as this, and there never was. And there's been a lot of times in history where terrible things have happened, alright? This is 2nd Ezra chapter 16, verse 18. The beginning of sorrows and great mournings, the beginning of famine and great death, the beginning of wars, and the power shall stand in fear, the beginning of evils. What shall I do when these evils shall come? Alright? Verse 23, and the dead shall be cast out as dung, and there shall be no man to comfort them, for the earth shall be wasted, and the cities shall be cast down. So there's going to be so many bodies that people are going to be throwing them away like they're shit. You know? Verse 39, even so shall not the plagues be slack that come upon the earth, and the world shall mourn, and sorrow shall come upon it on every side. O my people, hear my word, make you ready to thy battle, and in its evils be even as pilgrims upon the earth. So, what Yahweh was saying is, he's not going to hold back, man. He's going to release everything he's got, and it's all going to be simultaneous, and there's going to be he's not going to hold back on anything, man. It's going to hit hard. All right? But with that said, I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai. Double honors to the apostles and others, great millstone who rule well. Peace and blessings to the whole elect of Israel. Shalom.